Hey, hey, you guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It the 19th. Yeah, this rain has been getting me all the way off. This is Dr. Shanae Turan. Before I go deep into it, like I usually be just jumping into things, I'm Dr. Shanae Turan of SP Consulting Group, your licensed therapist and organizational development psychologist. And I just wanted to jump on today. I've been trying to share more and more because I know that around this time of the year, people are looking at how can they allow this new year to set new intentions and things like that. So either way, today I'm going to be with you very briefly. Just wanted to come on here live and share with you guys before I get into my afternoon workout. I've been tired. It's been rainy, all dreary, but your girl is staying committed. You got to work on that gut. But anyway, I'm so tired, y'all. But actually, to the point of this live, we are going to be talking about raising your threshold and how to get out of your own way. A lot of times when I'm working with my clients, it's usually a process of helping them identify what are some of the things that are creating gaps in their ability to move forward. You know, whether they're coming in for psychotherapy, whether they're coming in for executive wellness coaching, because that's what I provide as well, or even when I'm working with organizational leaders to try to help them with enhancing their organizational culture, functioning, systems redesign, all of that good stuff. So when we talk about raising the threshold, I always like to come from a very educational standpoint, just because in my practice as a therapist, I purposely provide psychoeducation. So when I am working with and talking with you guys, you're always going to hear like, what are these words that I'm using? Because even if you know the vocabulary that I'm using, you want to know the context in which I'm speaking it, or it may or may not apply. Hey there, Wendy. It has been forever. I'm trying to see everybody that is coming in. And who was that? I can't see the name. BERBRES underscore TS. Hey there. How you doing? All right. So what do I mean when I say raising your threshold? First of all, when I'm talking about raising your threshold, I'm talking about the level at which you start experiencing something, or at which you something starts to happen or change. Like, where are we with getting things started with change? A lot of times when I am working with people on new goals, a lot of them don't realize or put the necessary attention into preparing for change. And so, again, a lot of you guys are going through this process of um, New Year's resolutions or setting your intention. Some people have been making a point to say, what is their word for the year? What is it that they are going to aim for and push for? And you have to first understand the baseline. And so this is a step that is often missed if you're not aware of the process of preparing for change that will enable whatever changes you are trying to have happen, whatever experiences you are trying to cultivate or render in your personal life, professional life, that you are taking an opportunity to assess where you are. And a lot of times we don't realize that beyond the discussion of actually, I was just talking about this yesterday when I did a live on imposter syndrome. We don't realize that there's a lot of layers to what's preventing us from the change that we are seeking. There are a lot of layers to or dynamics involved when it comes down to how can you actually make your life palatable and ready, primed for change. And so when I say, how can you ensure that you're not getting in the way? It's how can you ensure that when it's all said and done, you are taking the time out to assess what's your baseline? What is actually your starting point? Before you can even say, oh, yeah, I'm raising my threshold. Yes, I'm doing it this year. I'm doing all of that. Like, first, where are you? What is it that's going on? And what are the things that are going to support your goals? What are the things that are going to be counter to your goals? What are things that are going to get in the way? What are the support systems that you have in place? What is the mindset that you have? Okay. I'm talking about not being the person getting in your own way of raising your threshold. What's your current mindset? What did you bring from 2021? Shoot, what did you bring that started, brewing back in 2020? What is it that you're bringing to you in the present day when you're talking about how am I going to actually achieve my goals? Like, you have to realize that in anything, you have to be primed and ready. If you are going, and this is just to show y'all something random that it's not random, but something that, my dad had taught me when he would work on the church building, like if we were doing flooring, if we were doing the walls, everything has to be prime. Even if you are someone that's into crafts and you're working with wood, you have to prime the wood. You have to prepare it for change. What are you doing to prepare yourself for change? And if you're not, you're getting in your own way. You're not saying, I am doing everything necessary to make sure that everything that is going to be input to my threshold, input into what it is that I'm wanting to start and make happen, have change, have grow, have manifest. We're getting in that space where we just are doing, we're doing. And it's like, it's not always about what's next as opposed to what's now. What's going on right now that's going to allow you to actually benefit from all the actions that you're taking. An example that I want to give is there are times when people are working with me, in our private sessions, and their purpose, because a lot of my clients are also getting psychotherapy. And there's this excitement, I started, I'm engaging in treatment, I made it, I'm here, I'm ready. But are you ready to at least identify what is going on with you right now? Yes, there are those symptoms. That's not necessarily what we're talking about, because that's usually what you think of when we're saying, hey, how you doing? What brought you in today? Things like that. And it's like, well, no, really, what's going on? Like, do you realize that your issues with your self-esteem are fueling the reasons why you're having trouble at work? You're having trouble giving yourself credit. Like I said yesterday on our live, we were talking about imposter syndrome. You may not realize all of the things, the people, the inner critic has been fueling to bring you to a place of a ground, like a baseline that is not conducive to growth. Even in the Bible, it talks about you gotta put this stuff on some ground that's gonna catch. You can't just be putting it on concrete, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but where are you planting your seeds? How is it going to get in the dirt if you still dealing with some cracks and some, let's talk psychologically, some imposter syndrome? You're dealing with anxiety, depression, self-doubt. You're dealing with pain, trauma. You're dealing with all these different things, and you're like, oh, because it's a new year, it's about to happen. No, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Where are you starting? Absolutely. Wendy said it right. Hey there. One of my subways on here, girl. Hey, Latina. I just so happened to be cold and needed this little wrap. Okay. But where is your starting point? As Wendy, my fellow African-American female doctor, Wendy Talley, okay, shout out to her. But I want you guys to take a moment and realize that when you talk about raising your threshold, growing, having things manifested, you got to do the inner work. And we talk all the time about, oh, you got to do the work, you got to do the work, when we don't necessarily go into the next steps of what that work is. And I always start every last one of my clients with, where are you now? But that question, once we get past the niceties, it really gets deeper. It's like, what do you really think about yourself? How much time do you spend with yourself? What are you doing to prepare for change? When you work with me, you're not going to have this like quick fix. What I do, it's like, this is a long haul thing. This is what you call, we got to clean some stuff out to make sure that we are building from fertile ground, that we're building from a place where you are anchored and rooted and grounded in what you feel, believe, and know for yourself, mind, body, and spirit. And it just so happens that in the work that I do with organizations, it includes, well, what's your baseline? We got to assess first what's going on. Like, every system in the world requires you to understand your starting point. Okay. Every last one. You thinking of all the different and the many things that you want to do for the new year, maybe you got to start with you. Maybe you need to sit still. Maybe you need to get quiet with yourself. Maybe you need to spend some time realizing how you can be ready for growth, to raise your threshold, whatever that means for you. It doesn't mean that you need to be doing any extra anything. Growth for you may be learning how to sit still with yourself and spend time with yourself, whether it's for the purpose of introspective growth, enhancing your emotional intelligence, understanding who you are in this season of life. Things have happened. What and how you responded to things in the past aren't going to be what and how you, or even why you respond in a certain way today or tomorrow. So know your starting point. Know how it is that you are going to intentionally prepare yourself for the experiences that you want, right? It may be a mindset thing. It may be some mental health issues have crept up and you didn't realize it. And it went from a challenge, a frustration, to a full-blown mental illness that can be, diagnosed. This stuff builds if you don't release it. If you get into habits of building and never clearing that baseline and making sure that it's ready for growth, that it's ready for change, things start to crumble and tumble. But let's not do that. Let's not get in our own way. Let's get to a place where we are fully aware of where we're going, how we're going, as it pertains to raising our threshold. I hope this was helpful to you. I'm trying to get on here and educate the peoples a little bit more nowadays, but your girl is tired. But I decided to, instead of doing my workout this morning, I just made sure to get dressed, and I'm going to do it after I get off here. But you guys take care, regardless of how the wind blows. Make sure that you aren't getting in your way. There are plenty of external factors that can trip you up. Be your best cheerleader. Encourage yourself, motivate yourself. Know yourself. Okay. So again, hope this was helpful. I will see you guys. What's today? Wednesday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Spread the word. We do every Tuesday and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. For now, we're doing a Black Women in Leadership series titled What We Not Gonna Do. Yesterday, we talked about imposter syndrome and where that inner critic really coming from. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about this whole discussion of preparing for change and making sure that you're in that place to grow, so that all the efforts that you're planning to make, you want to make, you're inspired to make, that it can actually go down as you wish. Okay. All right. Faith without works is dead, y'all. Let's do the work. Talk to you guys later. Take care and bye-bye. All right, let me get this up here. See you guys later.